This film was made through a novel participatory hand map storytelling method to explore the meaning of identity among the people who live in places like Delft. Throughout this process, we worked together with the Delft Safety Group to understand more about the ways that intersecting inequalities have informed their identities and affected their lives. This work forms part of a wider participatory research with the Delft Safety Group, examining what blocks and what builds accountable relationships in the context of violence and insecurity.
In our communities, life is like running up escalators that are moving down. In our everyday lives, we make choices that are based on decisions that are made either for us or by us, and these shape our lives. "2013, the year that changed my life completely. I had just gotten out of high school and I was looking forward to the grown-ups world. But unfortunately I had to provide for my family now. Everyone was looking up to me. I had to provide everything that was needed in our home. After a few times that I've been hustling and trying to get a job, but to no avail, regardless of whatever skills I had, how much potential and how much energy I had, I couldn't get a job. On the last day, when I actually realized that I had spent all the money that we had at home, looking for a job and coming home every day with nothing to offer. On this day on my way back, I met a friend. Her name was Dumi. She started the conversation by asking me about what were my qualifications. I didn't have enough energy to actually go through all of that, so I handed her a copy of my CV. After a few seconds of her reading the CV, she asked me, "What do you know about computers?" And I was like, "Yo, computers are my passion." Then she said, "Okay, how about we hook up on Monday?" And I was like, "Okay." I was excited because I was anxious and looking forward to any opportunity that I could get. Little did I know that I would be part of making fraudulent documents. The Monday came, and after a few hours of being on the computer, she rewarded me with 5,000 Rand. I mean, that was it for me. Things started looking up. She told me that there's more where that came from. So for me, it meant I was on the computer and bam, I got money. And I didn't realize that I actually committed a crime because I didn't kill anyone, so my conscience was clear. Months on, one evening while I was asleep, the police knocked on my door. My aunt answered the door and they requested to see Siphokazi. That's me. My aunt had no idea what was going on, so she called me. "Sipho, police are looking for you." That moment, I was between two places. It's either they bring me bad news or I'm going down. When I came out, they read me my rights, handcuffed me, and I got into a van. A week later after that, I was sentenced to 3 years in prison. When I heard the judgment, life just went blank for me. I had no emotions. I just went dead because I knew that was the end of my life. But after a week of being in prison, I started now having these conversations with other inmates whereby I'd facilitate talks about issues that we're facing and why are we in that space in the first place. Months later after that, I was part of the rugby team. I was actually captain of the females rugby team. I mean, things were happening for me and I wasn't under any pressure. Life was just good. When I was halfway through my sentence, I was given the opportunity to actually go out and I rejected it. Simply because I wasn't ready to face the outside world and what it expected of me. A year later, my sentence was finished. I had to leave. What did I come out to? I had a criminal record, one that outstanded and outdated all and other skills and qualifications that I had. My life was doomed. But I decided to twist it around and use the skills I'd learned in prison to make my life. Through my journey this year in 2017, I met a troubled, aspiring soccer player, and this is his story.
It all started up in 1990, November 8, in Port Elizabeth, where I was born. I grew up as an elder brother in a family of 5 members. As I grew up, I was watching my father loving my mom unconditionally. Until the day came when my father decided to leave my mom for someone else. That's why it led my mom of having stroke and she died. I was heartbroken. Now I have to take stand of everything around the house. Unfortunately, I lost my mother and I have to stay with my 2 younger brothers in age of 21 years old. I couldn't bear the feeling and struggle. I remember one day, one of my brother, he was supposed to attend matric ball and he needed suit and a car, but I couldn't do anything about that. That's why I realized that I failed my brother as an elder brother. That changed my life completely. I felt useless, but here I am now, going strong, and also my brothers are doing great. At least now they can manage some of their needs and needs. Because of what happened between my mom and dad, I grew up without parental guidance, struggling. It affected me in such a bad way, because I have to find ways of living and to provide for my 2 younger brothers. Having a job would have helped me a lot to deal with this situation, but unfortunately, there wasn't any chances of finding work, no matter how I tried. I felt helpless for not knowing what to do in such young age, but I learned a lot because now I know how to handle those kind of situations in my life. I still haven't been able to find job, but I get piece of work here and there, which helps me and my brothers to get by.
I introduced him to a good friend of mine whose passion was sports coaching, and this was his story.
My name is Andrew Tomlinson, staying in Delft, The Hague. I had a terrible experience about 10 years ago. See, one of my daughters went blind. At that time, I was studying at UCT. I was studying sports psychology. I got so frustrated. I did not know what to do. She was progressive in school, and now I have to do a turnaround or a turnabout in life. She was on a blind school. I went to the University of Stellenbosch to do parasport just to help her. We saw that sports is helping her heal mentally. That is when I put all my energy into sport. I became passionate about sport. The turbulence and panic of that moment turned my family off balance because it was unexpected. It affected my life in a positive way. I got the ability now to help the vulnerable and disabled in our community.
We have the following key messages for the attention of the Department of Health, Sports and Recreation, and Correctional Service. Many youth forget about their dreams of being the best at what they do because they are denied facilities to practice and master their skills. We are forced to forget about making something of our lives as if we were destined to struggle. Yet we are supposed to be the future of this country. What is more important? A certificate written with ink on a piece of paper, or having a passion and hunger to want something, not only for yourself, but also for other people's benefit. Our current sports facilities in Delft are battlefields, spaces for illegal activities, as opposed to being accessible and utilized by youth who need it to compete in safe sports activities and in effort to better themselves and their communities. This is a call to government to not only make decisions for us of what we need, but to inquire and engage with us as to what do we need in order to change the lives of young women, young kids, the youth in our community for the better.